The lights of Paris had barely dimmed when a name began to echo among the whispers of elite guests, fashion journalists, and the constant flashing cameras. Amidst the hustle and bustle of Paris Fashion Week 2026, someone stepped out calmly, as if she knew all eyes would be on her. It was Zhang Ruonan. She wasn't just there, she stole the show. And beneath it all, a question hung in the air. Had all this been predicted? The moment she appeared at the main venue, the atmosphere shifted. There was no grand announcement, no forced dramatic effect. Just a simple, yet confident walk. Her dress spoke for itself, elegant, bold, and effortless. Photographers jockeyed for position, trying to capture a moment they knew would make headlines the next day. Zhang Ruonan wasn't a new name, but the way she carried herself that night felt different. She wasn't just an actress, but a symbol of transformation. From a young starlet known for her dramas, she now stood alongside global fashion icons. The change was tangible, not just a constructed image. Among the crowd, fans began to discuss another name, Bai Jingting, a figure who had been frequently linked to Zhang Ruonan, both in projects and in public speculation. Many believed that if there was one person who wasn't surprised by this transformation, it was him. It was as if he had seen it all long before the world realized it. Paris Fashion Week has always been a stage for those eager to prove something. But Zhang Ruonan didn't seem like someone trying to prove anything. She walked with the poise that only those who already knew their worth possess. And perhaps that was what made her so captivating. The dress she wore that night became a topic of much discussion. Its bold yet feminine cut reflected the duality that had always been inherent in her. She wasn't just beautiful, but also strong. Not just gentle, but also bold. Every detail seemed designed to reflect her career trajectory. Fashion magazine editors began writing furiously. Social media exploded within minutes. Her photos went viral, accompanied by the almost unanimous comment, "She's stealing the show." But beneath the praise lay a deeper sense of wonder. How could someone evolve so quickly without losing who they truly are? Zhang Ruonan seemed to understand one crucial thing. Fame can come and go, but aura is something that is built. And that night, her aura shone brightly. She didn't need to do much. Her mere presence was enough to change the atmosphere. Many began comparing her to other big stars, but the comparisons felt irrelevant. Zhang Ruonan wasn't trying to be anyone other than herself, and that was precisely what made her stand out among the crowd. Meanwhile, speculation about Bai Jingting continued. Had he truly seen this potential from the start? Or was he just one of many who were now watching Zhang Ruonan's evolution with admiration? There was no definitive answer, but the mystery only added to the story's allure. The camera followed her every move, her slight smile, the way she turned, even the way she stood. Everything became subject to analysis. This wasn't just an appearance at a fashion show anymore. This was a defining moment, a point where someone goes from promising to undeniable. Designers, too, began to view her differently. She wasn't just a guest model or an invited celebrity. She was an inspiration, a figure who brings their work to life in a way no one else can. But behind all the glitz and glamour lies unseen hard work. Zhang Ruonan's journey wasn't built overnight. She went through periods of relative obscurity, where she had to prove herself time and time again. And perhaps all of that is what shaped the calm she displays today. The night in Paris continues, but the conversation about her doesn't stop. Even after the event is over, her name remains a top topic. This isn't just a passing trend. It's a momentum that feels like it will endure. Some industry observers are beginning to call her the next generation's new face, not just in Chinese entertainment, but also on the international stage. A prediction that now seems increasingly plausible. Zhang Ruonan herself seems unfazed by all this. She maintains the same demeanor, calm, focused, and authentic. It's as if she knows the journey is long, and this is just the beginning. Behind the scenes, her team worked tirelessly. Every detail was meticulously prepared, but ultimately, none of it would matter without the presence of someone capable of bringing it to life. And this is where Zhang Ruonan proved herself. This story isn't just about fashion. It's about growth, about the courage to change, and about knowing when it's time to move to the next level. And Zhang Ruonan seemed to have chosen the perfect moment. Back to the original question. Did Bai Jingting foresee this? Maybe. Or maybe not. But one thing was certain. The world could no longer ignore Zhang Ruonan. Paris was just one stage. But her impact was felt far beyond that city. Zhang Ruonan's name now resonated louder, wider, and more powerful than ever. And if this was the beginning of something bigger, then one thing was clear. We had all just witnessed the birth of a new icon. The euphoria didn't subside even as the lights went down. Outside, fans lingered, hoping for another glimpse of her presence. Zhang Ruonan's name continued to be called out, like an echo that refused to fade. There was something about that night that felt different, as if the world had just witnessed a moment that would be remembered for years to come. In the car that took her away from the venue, the atmosphere was stark contrast. Calm, almost silent. Zhang Ruonan stared out the window, watching the lights of Paris glint off the glass. There was no exaggerated expression, just a deep, unreadable gaze. Was she digesting everything that had just happened, or was she already preparing for her next move? Meanwhile, the media continued to work tirelessly. Article after article was published, each trying to capture the essence of her charm that night. But there was one undeniable similarity. No one could truly explain what made her so captivating. There was a mysterious element that couldn't be written, only felt. Longtime fans felt a sense of pride, as if their journey supporting her had finally reached this point. Those who had followed her from the beginning knew that this wasn't mere luck. It was the result of consistency, the right choices, and the courage to step out of their comfort zones. Meanwhile, new fans were emerging. Those who might not have previously known her well were now captivated overnight. This is the power of a moment, when a single performance can change the perception of so many people at once. The entertainment industry began to react. International project offers began to be discussed, collaborations with major brands began to be considered. Zhang Ruonan was no longer confined to a single market. She had stepped onto a much broader stage. But the pressure that came with this success couldn't be ignored. Expectations would continue to rise. The spotlight would intensify. Every next step would be compared to that moment in Paris. And this is where the real challenge began. Still, considering how she had carried herself this far, there was confidence that she could handle it. Zhang Ruonan was not the type to be easily swayed. She understood that fame was like a wave, and what mattered most was how to stay steady on it. Ultimately, that night in Paris wasn't just about what was seen, but about what was beginning. A new chapter had opened with a bang. And if this is any indication of the future, then one thing was certain. Zhang Ruonan's journey would continue to astound the world.